Fantastic. We've got our athletes all seated here. Well, welcome everyone to the Professional Triathletes Organization Canadian Open, the PTO Canadian Open, the first of 3 races in the PTO Tour that will be happening in 2022. My name's Kevin McKinnon. I'll be the lead announcer at this weekend's race and also the upcoming Collins Cup, which will be happening in August over in Slovakia, Samarin, Slovakia, and then at the PTO US Open in Dallas, Texas. We are thrilled to be starting the PTO Tour with this Canadian Open in Edmonton. It just seems so appropriate. Edmonton, one of only 2 cities around the world that has hosted the World Triathlon Championships 3 times. It should actually have been 4. So I'm putting Edmonton ahead, but that stupid COVID thing got in the way. But Edmonton has long embraced triathlon and put on some of the biggest events in the world, and we're doing it once again here in Canada with the $1 million PTO Canadian Open. And the event has obviously drawn some of the best triathletes in the world who we have here today. And so I'm going to stop talking now or stop talking about Edmonton and start introducing some athletes here. So I'm going to start with Laura Philipp, second over to my left here. She's from Germany, PTO World ranked number 3, fresh off an 8-hour, 18-minute, and 20-second race at Ironman Hamburg, just 7 seconds off the world best. Really? Sorry, I've been wanting to do that since I saw that time. And earlier this year, Ironman 70.3 Dubai went 3:53:03, which is the world best time for that distance. Where's Emma? Down at the end, we've got Emma Pallant-Browne from Great Britain, PTO World ranked number 8. And she had, I was announcing at an event in Miami earlier this year, I'll talk about that, where really scary day, but she has since bounced back with wins at Challenge Riccione, 70.3 Luxembourg, and Elsinore. She is one of the winningest, I know it's not a word, but it just does really well, half-distance athletes in the world. From right here in Edmonton, the hometown hero, Paula Finley is PTO World ranked number 10. She's an Olympian from 2012, the winner of the PTO Championship in 2020 in Daytona. And I'm not sure if this is most impressive or not, but it was pretty impressive to me. Our reigning Canadian time trial champion from right here in Edmonton a few weeks ago. So pretty impressive on that front. And rounding out the women that we have here at our press conference, we've got Jackie Hering from the United States, PTO World ranked number 12. She's an Ironman champion, a 7-time 70.3 champion, a super mom. Skylar and Hunter, there we go, are both kicking around here. But her most impressive championship, as far as I'm concerned, is the U.S. snowshoe title she took in 2019. Sorry, I couldn't resist that, Jackie. On the men's side, right next to me here, hardly needs any introduction here in Edmonton. He had such a great day last August where he became the first person to be both the Olympic and world champion at the same time with a huge win at the grand final. He's from Norway, PTO World ranked number 3, and is also the reigning Ironman world champion. That would be Kristian Blummenfelt. We've got also 2 spots over from Norway as well, PTO World ranked number 3. He's a 2-time Ironman 70.3 world champion, 8th at the Olympics last year, and the winner of the PTO 2020 championship in Daytona. That's Gustav Iden. Also, from here in Canada, and I'm going to laugh at myself at this one. You've spent so much time, he's got a Norwegian coach, hangs out with these guys. I've got next to your name here, Norway. He is definitely not from Norway. He is Canadian. There'd be a full-scale riot if that ever happened. Runner-up at the recent Ironman World Championship in St. George, and the Julie Moss Award winner for courageous performance at the Collins Cup last year, and that would be Lionel Sanders. And then rounding out our podium here of amazing athletes, he's from Great Britain, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and that's Aleister Brownlee. So maybe we can put our hands together for our amazing podium here. Whew, you guys are all too good. Could you just not have so many accolades next time, and I won't have to talk so much. All right, Kristian and Gustav, I wanted to start with you guys. The word is that you're always nutty competitive in terms of everything you do. You train together all the time. And the rumor is that you guys have been dueling it out for the Edmonton motorized scooter championship all week long. I want to know who's ahead and who's been winning on the scooter races.
Yeah, so we took the electric scooter from the hotel down to the swimming pool, and the first 7 minutes, it's $350 Canadian dollars, and if you have more than 7 minutes, then you have to pay 35 cents extra. So it's a race to beat the 7 minutes total time down there, and I think I have the record of 6 minutes, 20 seconds.
And so, Kristian, is there any truth to the...
If there would have been a referee there, he would have been taken out for red light driving. So I'm standing there waiting 90 seconds, which probably costing me, I don't know, $0.6, and doing it twice. So I'm the honest winner, I would say.
So obviously you guys compete again and again and again. I was reading the other day, you're really excited to be racing each other, hopefully, without anything going wrong. How hard is that to be good friends and then also, having to forget all of that on race day and go after each other?
As long as you stand on the top of the podium in the end of the race, it's quite easy, I would say, to still be friends.
Yeah, I think it's not like you forget that you're friends out there, but I think the will to win is quite strong with both of us, so I don't think we will give each other too much slack towards the end of the race. I guess at the start, maybe, but when things get really tough towards the last few Ks on a run, I think all logic goes out the window and you just want to finish first.
Like that, when we would sure love to see a sprint over the last few K. So if you guys can organize that, that's fantastic. And being Canadian, of course, I'm going to suggest that you sort of wait and let Lionel just cruise on by, right?
So you reckon he comes from behind?
There you go. Yeah. I love it. Paula, I was afraid to do this, but I feel like I sort of need to. Are you sick of people asking how much pressure there is to race in Edmonton?
No, but there is a significant amount. I feel I'm trying not to let it really get to me and kind of use it more as excitement instead of nerves. And it's really cool to be back in Edmonton and racing. The last time I raced here was 2015 in the World Cup. So, yeah, I know the roads really well. It's really fun to see my face and Lionel's face all over the city on the banners and stuff, and just trying to use that to get me excited to race instead of too nervous, because I'm pretty nervous.
Well, you sort of have an in, can't you? Couldn't you get the race director to move all of this to Canmore, and maybe there wouldn't be quite as much pressure?
Canmore would be a beautiful place for a race, honestly. But no, Edmonton is amazing, and I hope everyone's enjoyed riding the course and everything. I think it's a really unique course. It's very technical. It kind of looks like a World Cup ITU circuit with lots of corners, lots of climbing, lots of descending. So I think it'll make for an interesting race, and no one knows what to expect. So it's a cool course.
So you're from here. Maybe you can help out. Why is Edmonton such a hotbed for sports and triathlon? for the rest of us in Canada, we kind of go, how come everything keeps coming back to Edmonton?
Yeah, it might have a bad reputation because the winters are so cold, but there's a lot of good triathletes that have come out of the city. Paul Tischler, Carolyn Murray, Simon Whitfield raced here a lot, and I watched him when I was growing up racing at the World Cup that dates all the way back to 2001, I think. So I think the city just gets behind the event, and as you know, it takes a lot of road closures, a lot of volunteers to put on a race of this magnitude. So Edmonton has always been awesome at that, and that's what you see here. It's like the production is amazing, and it's going to be a safe course, a good course, and the city is behind it, and I think that's why it keeps coming back here.
Yeah, absolutely. Always fantastic to be here. Lionel, speaking of Canada and Edmonton and all that kind of stuff, what would it mean for you to get the win here this weekend?
These guys to my right here, and Brownlee as well, obviously, are the best guys in the world, truly. And so, I mean, it would mean more than anything I've accomplished in my career, most definitely. And these guys are definitely the future. I know they're kind of just having fun for a year and then going back to ITU for a bit, but I know they're coming back soon as well. And so I know it's a long shot. I've really only been, I think, on the right path, on a similar path to these guys for maybe 6 or 7 months, working with McCall, Gustav's brother. So I'm more thinking about when they make their return to triathlon after the Olympics, that I would like to be, going neck and neck with these guys. Right now, that's still an extreme long shot, but that don't mean it's not possible.
How hard is it? So everyone that I have talked to who saw you racing in Mont-Tremblant a few weeks back said that when they saw you coming back on the bike, the intensity was just insane. You knocked a tooth out. You were working so hard. How hard is it to go that hard and then keep coming back?
I didn't knock a tooth out. I mean, I literally was trying to open a water bottle from the backside of the water bottle and rip the tooth out. So it's not nearly as good of a story. It wasn't like Jack Laundrie got mad and hit me or something. But to be honest with you, it's these guys over here racing. These guys have, I guess, reinstilled. Early on in my career, I was so bad at swimming that there was only one option, and it was ride the bike as hard as you possibly can to get back in the race and hopefully soften the legs for the run, because that's your only chance, because you're certainly not the best runner and you're a horrible swimmer. So then I got my swim better and I was doing okay. And then these guys came around and they're extremely well-rounded, and so I really have only one option to win, and it is to make the bike insanely hard. And so Mont-Tremblant was kind of unfortunately I had a flat tire, so I was forced into it, but Mont-Tremblant was like my reintroduction to riding that way. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however, if you like suffering, it's fortunately, that's the way I will have to race for the remainder of my career. I did St. George, I raced very conservatively, basically did the bike by myself, nice steady power. I finished second. I was in the position I needed to be. Kristian outran me by over 4 minutes. I mean, it's not that fun finishing second. I've got lots of seconds. I would like to be gunning for the win. And so there's only one way to do it, and it's to absolutely destroy the bike.
Sounds easy enough. How hard could it be?
Yes, the back half of the run gets extremely painful because of it. Correct. But that's part of the game plan.
But these guys are saying that they're going to wait for you anyway, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe them either. Laura, you started the year off with such a bang with that amazing race, the 70.3 performance, and then the huge disappointment of not being able to race in St. George. I'm guessing that got you just a little fired up for Hamburg, and are you still as fired up and wanting to go hard?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was really tough to miss out St. George, but I guess I was not the only one. COVID is a tricky disease, and it can just hit you anytime. So I was unlucky in this time, but it definitely fired me up to get back into shape and get back into racing. So I looked up for new racing opportunities, and Ironman Hamburg as the European Championships for the female seemed to be a good opportunity, but for sure I never expected to go that fast after the COVID break.
And I sort of was joking, 7 seconds, like, no one told you a mile out that you were that close to setting the world best time?
So actually there have been like many moments where I kind of lost that 7 seconds. So I think because I was not going for any kind of time or record, it was simply not in my mind. Of course, people started to tell me, you are on world record pace, but in the beginning I didn't believe them because I actually expected that the Hamburg course is not a record-breaking course because there you have at least a transition of like nearly a K to run, like 2 times, so you lose a lot of time there. But in the beginning I definitely tried to pick up my pace, but it's easier said than done in the end of a marathon. But yeah, I was still super proud of my performance, and seeing how close I got to that record, of course, also set the seed into my mind that maybe one day I really want to go for it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and just an amazing day. Thank you. Jackie, you're up here with the kids and the family, and it looks like it's a busy weekend, and somehow you've got to fit in this little race tomorrow. How hard is it to balance all that stuff?
Well, it's kind of hard, but it's also just part of my normal life, so I'm pretty much used to trying to balance everything, and it's a lot less working out than usual on race week, so I actually feel like I have quite a bit more time.
So for you, as you go into a race like this, what do you sort of see, you know, looking at the people you got to line up against? What are the keys for you to be able to get the win, get on the podium, have a great day?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. There's an extremely intimidating list of people at this race. In the women's race and the men's race, I just think it's amazing. The amount of Olympians and champions, and even just sitting up here with these guys, I'm like, how am I possibly sitting up here? But yeah, it's important for me to try not to think about that and just focus on my own race and controlling how I execute my race, which I do feel confident in doing, and really just not worry so much about everyone else.
Is this a good course for you, the way it's laid out?
I have no idea. I've never done a looped type of thing like this, but I do like a lot of variety, so I think it might be good. It's the type of course that'll keep us all really engaged in the activity. You can't just put your head down and TT for a while. You have to always be paying attention to the roads and the turns and everything going on, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much. Alistair, you're coming off an injury that, you know, sort of, I guess, I'm not going too far out. It's been a tough 2022. Got sick just before the Worlds, and then injury forced you out of the sub-7. How are you feeling coming back? Are you healthy? And why was it important for you to get back here and race here at the event in Edmonton?
I feel healthy, although maybe not that fit, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I only made a very last-minute decision to come actually on Monday, and I was talking to my coach, and we kind of thought about it, and he said, look, you spent the last 2 months saying, oh, I wish I'd raced more when I could, and not just focused on those events for it to go wrong. So just go and race. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I'm really happy to be injury-free and looking forward to racing as hard as I can and just enjoying it. And yeah, I also think it's a great opportunity to support this first event of the PTO Tour, which I think is a fantastic project. And yeah, I felt like it was important to be here from that aspect as well.
You do a lot with the PTO. You're on the board. Why is the PTO so important to you?
Well, I've been a triathlete since I was 8 years old, and when I was 16, I remember sat in a careers class at school like you do, and you're going along the table, and what do you want to do? I want to be a brain surgeon, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be whatever. And I said, I want to be a professional triathlete. And the teacher said, is that even possible, boy? And I said, I don't know, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Anyway, so nearly 20 years later now, I have managed to be a professional triathlete. But still, I think there's a long way that triathlon can go in terms of commercialising the sport and providing opportunities for exposure and earning for elite athletes, especially in the long distance side of it. There's some phenomenal athletes. I think there's a great stories to be told. There's great athletes to watch and fans to follow. And there needs to be a format to do that. And I think the PTO is bringing that and pushing up every other organisation's game around it.
That's awesome. I would also argue that you could have picked the career as author. I really enjoyed your book and
Thank you.
couldn't for the life of me figure out how on earth you had time to do that as well.
Yeah,
so.
my English teacher wouldn't have believed that at the time. It was terrible, that.
But yes, if you haven't had that opportunity, I did it as an audiobook, so my dog and I listened to it for quite a while. He enjoyed it too. Well, we'll round things out. Emma, I sort of mentioned that it was scary seeing you in Miami earlier this year, and so exciting to see how you've bounced back and had so many awesome races since then. Did you learn something from that event that will help you possibly win tomorrow?
Yeah, it was definitely scary. Kind of, I've passed out in races and training before, but that was by far probably one of the worst experiences. And I was actually quite ill the week following up, and had a lot of tests. And it was clear that if I wanted to keep pushing my body like this, I had to make some big changes. And one of those big changes came from a call actually with Precision Hydration with Andy Blow and the team. And it was being proactive of, as a triathlete, it's going to be really hard to avoid hot races. Like, it's the sport we do. It's a summer sport. And it's putting things in place, nutrition-wise, hydration-wise, and also even tactically how I race. Even now kind of preloading on my sodium, and I've pretty much times 5 everything that I was drinking before in terms of concentrations. I went into the races after that not feeling confident and a little bit worried, and it's paid off. I've tested it and feeling good off it.
Oh, that's great. Sort of asked this a few times, but what would it mean for you to take the title here tomorrow, the very first Open in the PTO Tour?
Yeah, I think like everyone, it's an incredible event, an incredible thing to be a part of the first one, and to win would just be, I don't think there's many words that you can describe it. Like, the quality of the fields here, I think, there's so many people with so much potential, and it's going to make for a really exciting event.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. I will open things up if any of our media have any questions at all. I can keep doing this all day, and we'll gladly do that, but I'll give you guys a chance too, if you'd like. Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
I think the last time, Kristian, you and Ali were here racing, if my memory serves me, was 2014. You guys know how to ride technical courses. Do you see a benefit, both to the two of you guys, of coming to a loop course with in and out of the water type of ITU, format, which is maybe a bit of a hybrid that the more traditional long distance guys have not done loops very often, not coming out of the water? Do you think that's a benefit, Kristian, and to Ali, for you guys having that experience?
Yeah, I hope so. Like, as I said, the course we have now is basically set together from the course we had last year and also the 2014 course. Like, we've been through both of the hills earlier, and it's not a standardized TT course. We're just like looking at the power. You really have to push hard up the hills to not lose the packs here, and also you're flying down the downhill so quickly, so it's not really much time to rest. So hopefully the training I've done earlier will suit well coming into this race.
Yeah, was 2014 that breakaway? Yeah, that would be nice if that happened again. Kristian and me were in a breakaway, and 5K later we had a 2-minute lead. It was great, wasn't it? It is very different. Long distance training and racing for me is effectively all about constant outputs, and this is not going to be a constant output. So, yeah, I think that's going to make it more challenging, more tactical and technical. I think it's going to be really hard to draft and be in packs on this course, especially if the 20-meter rule is used, and I think the swim will break up maybe a bit more as well.
Awesome. Thanks. Any other Gustav, I wanted to follow up on a little bit, I guess, on that question. You had to end up missing the race in St. George. Your training partner has 2 full-distance races on his legs since May. Are you coming in with a little bit of an advantage on that front?
I don't think so, because I did the same training as him, and I was still prepared to race St. George, even though I didn't race St. George. So I don't think like the race day effort in St. George is still in Kristian's legs. So, and also sub-7, he said it was recovered after 4 days, and now it's much more than 4 days since sub-7. So I think I don't think that's a big advantage for me. So yeah, I don't think so.
But you have the race experience from Leeds, been racing short distance.
This is not short distance, though.
Paula, how much confidence did you gain from that great time trial win a little while back? Does that, or does it make any difference for a triathlon?
I think it does. I'm going to ride the same bike, actually, so the UCI legal bike that I rode a month ago in Edmonton, and I feel really good on it. It's fun. The whole event, racing the National TT Championships, was very different than a triathlon, obviously. The warm-up is just very focused, and it's a 45-minute race. But I think in training for that race, I gained a lot of confidence, just doing short, powered, a lot different than 70.3 or long-distance training. And yeah, I'm hoping to use the bike to my advantage in this course, and that was definitely a good stepping stone to be more confident on that bike.
Yeah. Lionel, you went on a UCI legal bike in St. George. Are you going to do the same thing here?
Always UCI legal. It entered my mind when I did that 1 hour thing on the track because it fit me so well, and that's where I discovered, well, I've got, long torso, short legs, just different proportions than a lot of the normal triathlon bikes are built to. And so the UCI specifications allow you to get a bit more reach and those sorts of things. And so, yeah, I discovered, for the most part, fit is everything, I would say, more than anything else.
But like you talked about the weight of the bike being a big difference for you in St. George as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was certainly a piece of the puzzle, but most definitely the position and how it fit me was the major deciding factor. I was just very comfortable on the bike, and actually got onto the newer, that was a bike that wasn't even in production, so Canyon was a bit upset about that, but now I'm on the newer one, and it actually has even more reach, so I can have room to grow, so it's actually quite nice, those UCI bikes.
That's great. You're going to be faster even.
I think it's just it's more comfort more than anything, most definitely, yeah. On this course, though, with the disc brakes, this is the one course where disc brakes actually probably would be quite nice to have. I'm not the biggest disc brake fan, but on this course with a lot of cornering, disc brakes would be useful.
Any other takers out there?
This new one. On the old one, I had rim brakes in St. George. I prefer rim brakes.
All right. Well, I know that many of you folks and many of our media types are looking to do some one-on-ones with these guys. There's also going to be a practice swim at 10:30 this morning. So for any of the media folks who are looking for photos and all of that kind of thing, the PTO Canadian Open will be streamed around the world, and you'll be able to watch it just as you are now on the PTO Plus app. So looking forward to you folks all being able to enjoy the amazing racing and all of the fantastic things that the PTO is bringing to the sport of triathlon. So thank you very much for joining us here today, and we are looking forward to a great weekend of racing and a great year, 2 more events to come after that. But first things first, let's get our PTO Canadian Open off and rolling. Thank you very much.